So, some of you are all wondering about Dia or Dima, and so I wanted to do a little bit of a deep dive into who is Dia and what the story is. You may be wondering why I'm using a lot of BJ's material from That Surprise Witness TV, and that's because she has spent just over a year now obtaining the records and information to try and piece this story together. She has invited us to use her material, and so that's what I'm doing. For this episode though, I just wanted to dig into Dia and see what kind of footprint we can find for her. So BJ talks about the Instagram profile for Dahlia and Dia, and I'm now looking at the Facebook profile for Dahlia and Dia. And we see here in September 2017, they were actually working on a new video, Seesaw, an immersion into a magician's mind. And that's it. They didn't produce that video. Something happened. I'm not entirely sure what happened. But something that I also found very disturbing was that the video that they produced just before that was these two 360 videos. And yeah, the 360 videos are concerning because, well, let me just show you why it's concerning to me. This is the introduction to Somebody Told Me 360. And as you can see, it says it's best viewed with virtual reality. The next video that was produced was called Are You Going Down? It's again another 360 virtual reality video.
Somebody told me to take 2 steps at a time. Somebody told me to go to bed early. Somebody told me to chew 15 times. Why are you looking at me? Why are you staring at me? Why are you still awake? Go to sleep. Why are you still awake? Go to sleep.
I kind of get the impression that somebody told me is the girl's expression of people maybe telling them what to do all the time. I'm not entirely sure that it's a total coincidence that their older sister Lima comes up with the virtual reality for mental health idea shortly thereafter. Anyway, what I wanted to do was try to get a baseline of what the girls behave like when they're not acting a part like they're doing in most of their short films. And I did find the Abby in America bloopers. We get a little bit of an idea from the bloopers what their baseline is, how they interact with other people and also each other. So we'll just have a quick look at those two videos.
Very good, Holly. Got to take that back.
Paso.
No, cut.
De lunes porque mi papá está en el hospital y está empeorando.
Stop. Sorry. Okay, let's come back to this. Very good, Pablo.
Am I so?
Very good, Pablo. Stop laughing. I'm not ready now because of you. All right, everyone did very well today and took big steps. Wait, no. Okay. All right, everyone did very well today. No, sorry. All right, everyone did very well today and took big steps. No, you say something now. Yes. Okay. Oh, don't worry about reading it. It's just take that back. I fumbled. Oh, don't worry about reading it. It's just basic. Shut up. Oh, sorry. It's just just basically ensuring that you'll receive a full recovery. It has to be better. Just live. It's just standard protocol. Okay, it's fine. Yeah. Okay. It's just standard protocol. What? It's just standard basic protocol.
I'd start with.
It's just standard basic protocol.
Okay, you can say that part.
What we're looking for is some kind of developmental delay because of this news article.
Desperate search is underway for a woman who went missing in West Hollywood. Dahlia Tequali was last seen yesterday around 5 p.m. on North Genesee Avenue near Santa Monica Boulevard. She's 30 years old, and the Sheriff's Department says she is developmentally disabled.
So there's a bit of a timeline difference here. This is much later in the piece. This is a couple of years later. So just take that into account. But as you can see here, it says that she is developmentally disabled and suffers from dissociative identity disorder. So we're looking for some kind of sign of this developmental delay in their personalities.
Abby, what are you doing? Abby, what are you doing? I lost my mark. I can't get them to stay.
I thought it was about the U.S. Declaration of Independence when the U.S. signed the Declaration. You're supposed to be the smart.
Crap, and we should all... Wait, actually, we have to start over now.
I guess I have been kind of hard on myself.
Exactly, it's not like human. It's not like you're married. Marriage is for losers.
Okay.
She confronted you.
Yeah.
So she used scare tactics to belittle you.
Okay.
Okay.
Action.
It's not your fault.
I did cheat.
Don't blame yourself. That's self-abuse. It's unhealthy. It's what she wants. You don't want that. Because you know, listen, that's not good and you need to do this better.
I guess I have been kind of hard on myself.
Exactly. Tell them. Exactly. You're only human. It's okay, sweetie, honey.
You think?
Yeah. Don't blame yourself. That's self-abuse. It's unhealthy. It's what she wants. It is what she wants, isn't it?
I mean,
One woman cannot possibly.
right.
I'm sorry.
Fuck her, and her, and her, and her.
Okay. Okay, we're good.
All right, you ready? I'm still rolling.
You have to
Okay.
I know, I'm sorry, I'm like not because I'm still kind of like not. Okay.
So as you can see, there doesn't seem to be any developmental delay there. And what I noticed too is that not only do they know their own lines, but they also know the lines of the other actors in their short films. And I think that's because they wrote them. However, it just goes to show that they're very talented and they don't appear to be developmentally disabled at all. So the girls appeared in another movie called Bob Thunder from, I think it was 2016 or 17. And this is an interview of them on the red carpet, so they're just being themselves. And I'm just going to warn you, the audio in this is terrible, but you get an idea of what they behave like without roles or a camera crew sort of, directing them. So let's have a look at that.
Thank you. How are you tonight? We're good. How are you? You look amazing. She's doing a selfie picture. She's used to taking selfies. I know. We're like selfie obsessed. I know. We're always like doing the duck face. Yeah. It's like it's our default. It's our default. Yeah, definitely. So tell me all about yourself. Are you gonna be killed tonight? Yes, our heads are gonna explode. We're given bubble gum that makes our heads explode. Be ready for it. They're gonna pop and there's gonna be blood. And it's gonna be violent. We hope it's very explosive. We like violence. I mean, we've always loved acting. Yeah. Ever since we were kids, you know, we knew we would end up doing this for a living. But we're so glad to have been a part of this movie, and I can't wait to see it. I think it's gonna be hilarious.
So the surprise was being a YouTube creator.
Yes. For sure,
Exactly,
definitely.
yeah.
But it's amazing.
It's definitely a different route. You know, it's a lot of fun because you really get to take control into your own hands and get to like be creative.
And we love writing.
Yeah.
We're super like full of ideas. So something will just pop in my head and I'll start writing and she'll finish it, or vice versa. So
The
YouTube is
benefit
awesome.
of being two heads.
Exactly.
Two heads.
Two heads, one mind.
What about your fans, guys? What do they ask you for?
Well, our style is very like dark and psychological. We love like
We're really drawn to kind of more, I don't know, like dark comedy or like stuff that's kind of, I don't know, like psychological.
exactly.
Like,
So
we love
and our fans love that. So that's what we do. You
Yeah,
know?
sometimes they want to see more of, I don't know, just us talking to them or being more interactive. So that was.
So let's do it right now.
Exactly. Hey everyone! Love you.
Mwah, mwah.
Thank you so much, guys. My last thing, this is going for my YouTube channel called What the Hell Did She Say? So I want to hear your Spanish.
Oh,
gosh.
hear what?
You saying whatever you want in Spanish.
It's not that
In
good.
Spanish? We can speak Spanish.
Well, we'll try.
Yeah, you try, you
Okay.
try.
Hola, muchacho.
Hola, muchacho. Hola, muchacha.
Uno, dos, tres.
Cuatro, cinco, seis.
Ocho, nueve, diez. Oh, yeah.
You guys are awesome. Gracias.
Thank you so much.
Adios.
Adios. Bye. Bye.
So in this movie, the girls play themselves, and the basic storyline is that Joe Nation can't make himself go viral, so he decides he's going to assassinate everyone who is viral to make himself more popular. Anyway, I did find that this movie was produced in 2015, and then I also found another movie that the girls appeared in called Unknown. So in this movie, they both play a character called Natalie, and they appear in seasons 5 and 6, but I can't find any reels or anything for that movie. I understand that it did win an award in 2017.
I love you, everyone.
I love you more.
Here I go.
Jesus, have you figured out we're in the fucking desert? Step by step, my friend, step by step.
Brother.
And that's all I could find. I did, however, find their Facebook page, which does show in 2017 that they won a award for the best web series. And it does show the cast. There's Dia and Dahlia, and they play the same character, but you know, because they're twins, they play the same character in different scenes. There was one more movie that I found the girls appeared in, and it was called Lucifer, and they were tagged in at Anti-Villain Media, who was the producer for the Lucifer film, and there the girls are. And there is the producer of the Lucifer film announcing Dahlia and Dia joining the cast. Their Twitter handle doesn't exist, so you can't follow it. It just says the page doesn't exist. So we know that in 2017 the twins were in The Unknown, and then in 2015 they were in several movies, but they drop off the radar after 2017. And so what we can tell from what we've seen so far is they had their faculties about them brought up until the end of 2017. So from 2018 onwards, something changed.
So at one point for sure, but I think it was many points in time over the course of Lima showing up on Soft White Underbelly, She mentioned her sisters.
Our father, growing up, was very abusive to my sisters and I. And my mom left when I was about 5 years old and my sisters were around 3 years old. My sisters didn't remember any of the trauma, but I had I remembered everything, and my sisters were the poster children for the perfect child.
She said her sisters are identical twins.
They were identical twins. They were athletes. They had straight A's.
And they suffer with a lot of mental health problems, apparently.
They had no recollection of the trauma, and then roughly within their mid-20s, they began to hear voices.
She says that they were falsely or incorrectly diagnosed, discloses their medical conditions.
Once they started to seek treatment is when it all went downhill from there. They were told that they were schizophrenic, which is not the case. At the beginning, they were prescribed antipsychotics, misdiagnosed for about 3 years.
They were falsely or incorrectly diagnosed with like schizophrenia or something, and then later were correctly diagnosed with instead dissociative identity disorder.
After 3.5 years, my sisters were finally properly diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder.
Now, dissociative identity disorder is the sort of new name for what used to be referred to as multiple personality disorder.
My sisters were finally properly diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder.
She also says a few other things about them. For example, they had this YouTube channel.
My sisters had a very successful YouTube channel. Their career was on the up and rising.
My channel is Dahlia and Dia. That's Dahlia, I'm Dia, and we do surreal scripted shorts is how we describe it.
YouTube.com/Dahlia
and Dia. Oh, actually, it's double shot 108, but we're changing it. So you just YouTube search Dahlia and Dia, and you will find us.
And once they started to seek treatment is when it all went downhill from there. I started Aura because my sisters, who are identical twins, have had some mental health struggles. There was an incident where I went to a friend's wedding in Chicago, and I was living and taking care of my sisters at the time. I was going for a few days, and I got a phone call from my sisters that they were having seizures and they couldn't stop. And at the time I didn't know what these seizures were, but I found out that they are called pseudo-seizures. They're caused by severe psychological and mental distress. I ended up video calling them for about 9 hours. I was trying to convince them to let me call the police, so I'd be interacting with the people at the wedding and smiling and acting like everything was okay. And then I'd go into the room and I would check my phone because both my mom and I were on this video call for 9 hours. Eventually they agreed to let me call the police because, of course, having additional people there could make the pseudo-seizures even worse. So once they agreed to that, I called the police and I thought that everything would be okay. And my sisters thought immediately, or the police thought immediately that my sisters were faking it because it didn't look like a seizure that they knew. They threatened to arrest my sisters, and I was on the phone listening to all of this. And then as soon as that happened, their alters switched. And then the police didn't even understand what dissociative identity disorder was. And they thought that they were faking it and they were just calling 911 to mess around. And so I spent another 2 hours that day on the phone with police trying to get them to release my sisters because they wanted to arrest them for abusing 911 and faking this. And so this has also happened at numerous hospitals where staff just thinks that if they've gone in because they're afraid of what's going on with them mentally, the staff is not really trained in the emergency room to handle mental distress. So they end up thinking that my sisters are faking it, and it becomes a huge problem.
Listen, Linda, I think hospitals have got a grip on psychiatric care. I'm pretty sure that they have dealt with it millions of times before your sisters turned up. But I'll tell you who doesn't have any mental health experience or education whatsoever. That would be you, Lima.
The question that arose in my mind pretty quickly was, all right, I've now heard Lima talk about these girls on Soft White Underbelly like they are in some serious trouble.
They were having seizures and they couldn't stop. They threatened to arrest my sisters and I was on the phone. And then as soon as that happened, their alters switched.
She said they've been in like 60 rehabs.
So with my sister's case, they've been to over 60 treatment centers. My sisters have each been to over 60 treatment centers and nothing's worked.
That they struggled now with addiction.
They were misdiagnosed with schizophrenia for over 3.5 years.
Wait, 60 treatment centres over 3 years adds up to 17 treatment centres per year. And when was this 3.5 year period? They seem perfectly fine in all these videos we just watched up to the end of 2017. If they dropped off the radar at the end of 2017, that means 2018, 19, 2020, when BJ picks up the trail, they were put into 17 treatment centres per year. I ain't saying she's lying, but if we take her word for it, that means that somebody in her family decided that changing their treatment centre 17 times per year was a good idea. Or she's exaggerating. Or someone was trying to trap them and they kept escaping.
She mentioned several times on the channel how to put your loved one into a conservatorship.
The way that you get somebody that doesn't want to get help into treatment is through something called an LPS conservatorship.
She also said on Mark Laita's channel that the reason she knows all this knowledge is because she's had to go through it with her own family.
What got you into this field? I mean, your history with your family sounds like...
Yeah, as a family member, it's really hard to call 911, and it feels like a betrayal to that person.
So that made me wonder, and I don't know to this day, I don't know, I'm not even speculating, but it made me wonder and ask myself in my own head, has Lima put her sisters into a conservatorship? She says, my sisters have DID, they have all these problems, they've been in 60 rehabs. And then she says the reason she knows all this is because she has firsthand experience through loved ones. She talks about their stories, she talks about their diagnosis. So it just made me wonder at that time, does Lima have her sisters in a conservatorship? So I'm watching these YouTube videos and I'm thinking, it's difficult for me to reconcile the sort of very fast downward spiral of these girls, because we'll get into it in a minute, but later on I would see pictures of them later and they do not look like that anymore. So I don't have it on my person at the moment, but if I don't, I'll just tell you from my memory and maybe I have a false memory. July 2018, I remember reading somewhere, it was on an Instagram post, that Lima was gonna start posting on behalf of the twins. It was something again to do with the mental health and the stigma and the struggle and something like that.
The way that we treat mental health, stigma, trauma, biofeedback.
Again, if we find it, I'll put it right here. I just don't have it right now. That is 2018. So like 2 years goes by and then we're in July 2020. In 2020, Dahlia and Dia's official Instagram account posted this picture. And it's them on a mountaintop. They got on some little cowgirl boots. It was posted on July 31st, 2020. First sentence, in the last 30 days, I've nearly lost both of my sisters twice. Well, that seems weird. Imagine my surprise going to this Instagram account and somebody talking about almost lost my sisters. I'm very confused. And so it says our family has been silent about this issue for years due to the mental health stigma. The mental health stigma you're about to make your whole career on? Okay. But now that things have escalated to such a horrific point, we feel the only way to save Dahlia and Dia is to be open about their health and encourage others to speak out and fight for better care. Well, Dahlia and Dia aren't being open about their health. You're not encouraging someone to speak out because you're speaking for them. What are you talking about to be open about their health? I haven't heard from them in at least 2 years. I mean, actually that's not true. We're gonna get into that. And then she takes this as an opportunity to advertise for Aura. She's talking about how hard she worked on Aura. Okay, maybe Lima, maybe something to this. You know, maybe she struggled with these girls and she's trying to help them. I'm giving her, benefit of the doubt. I'm reading it and she's tagging, but now looking at it now, I'm like, girl, what is this post supposed to be about? In the last 30 days, I nearly lost both my sisters twice. I started a company. I'm gonna use their Instagram account that's linked with their personal YouTube page to advertise for my business. I don't, like, looking at it now, I don't get it. I don't get it. Mental health and addiction are diseases of isolation. With that, I will agree with her. And it's real funny because look, they say at the bottom, ****. I will be announcing 16 Leo giveaway winners throughout August 2020. My apologize with the delay.
So is Aura a result of you trying to help out your sisters?
Yes, actually, Aura was bloomed from a desire to help my sisters, but it also exists to better treatment for all mental health illnesses.
I don't know about you all, but it appears to me that the twins entered into the realm of 3D reality a little bit before Lima did. And then all of a sudden, 3D reality is the core of Lima's new business.
Yeah, I understand they had a popular YouTube channel, but they haven't posted in a while.
Yes, it's been so debilitating that they haven't been able to post on their channel in 3 years.
Well, isn't that weird? For the year and a half that Bam was being shuffled in the Florida Shuffle, someone else had control of his social media accounts. And I believe even to this day, someone else is still controlling his social media accounts. We also saw this kind of thing happen with Britney's social media accounts.
So that happened in July 2020. This is, again, not a complete timeline, but for our purposes here, we're just now July 2020. Let's travel in time to February, the next year, 2021. Now, February 2021 is a very important time frame for this story, and y'all know this is why we do timelines. February 2021, 3 months before Amanda Rabb would be publicly shown using the Aura technology. Publicly, I don't know when she started using Aura. Let me be clear. That video happened 2 months after this Instagram post I'm about to show y'all. The next month, Amanda Rabb would be found dead.
She had passed away.
The next month, Lima would be Bam Margera's conservator. So now let's squeeze the Tequali Twins on top of that. February 2021. So 2 months before that, February 2021, we have a post from Meet Aura official Instagram account. And it's obviously the two twins in the post. The post says, and tags Lima from Aura, built Aura Tech to help her sisters, Dahlia and Dia, manage their mental health. She would later go on Mark Leta's channel 6 months later or whatever and talk about these sisters, and that's how I knew about them, right? So this post was before she went on Soft White Underbelly, and it says, their conditions had become debilitating in the United States mental health care system. They allege they're from Canada, for context. Dahlia and Dia, Dahlia and Dia were misdiagnosed, given a one-size-fits-all treatment and a cocktail of dangerous medications. We are excited to announce that next month, so it's gonna be March 2021, next month, Dahlia and Dia will be using Aura! Exclamation point. If you face challenges with solutions instead of focusing on how devastating the problem is, you can overcome anything. In this case, a family's tragedy turned into a digital health startup that will transform the mental health care industry for everyone. Ding.
And there you have it. Lima took the 3D reality idea from her sisters. Remember, this is 2017. And then in 2021, she's turned it into a mental health startup using her own sisters as the guinea pigs.
August 17th, 2021, Dahlia Tequali files for a temporary restraining order against someone named Dima Tequali. Who's Dima? So I have the restraining order here. Some very interesting things are going on in this case. Okay, y'all know I went ahead and pulled up the papers. I'm not gonna hold them up because it has some personal information. So Dahlia sues Dima and then makes these allegations against Dima. So let's see what those are. And content warning, this stuff is very intense. July 11th, 2021. The question asks, who was there? She's handwritten in here, myself, my mother. Describe how the person abused you. She says the gas was cut because she was trying to burn down the house. All the electrical cords were cut, screens and windows were all broken. Did the person use or threaten to use a gun or any other weapon? Yes, they threatened me and threw kitchen utensils at my face, increased my medical issues, hidden my crutches, and bruises. But wait, there's more. Dahlia accuses Dima Tequali from April 11th to July 11th of more abuse from Dima and says she was psychologically abusive, tearing and ripping up and breaking all my personal belongings. She physically attacked me. So at this time I'm thinking like, this has to be like the twins fighting. I don't really know, but like who is Dima, right? Who's Dima Tequali? Frequent fires made prior. So we have like some type of arson situation here. Again, I'm thinking, who is Dima. She would kick me out of the house. She would physically abuse me and throw heavy items at my face. Like, I'm getting like full like body adrenaline just like imagining this situation happening, right? I'm looking at it more closely on the first page. So it asks Dahlia, what is your relationship to the person in number 2? And number 2 was the person you want protection from. So what's your relation to that person, to Dima? And Dahlia answers, she is my identical twin. So I guess my next question is, who's Dia? You know, we're just here in September. Maybe it's, I don't really know, just a stage name. People have stage names, right? Like my name on my birth certificate isn't BJ. So the last thing I obviously want to look up in this case is, where does it stand? Was the restraining order granted or not? You know, kind of thing. So I'm looking at it, and what it appears to me that happened, all the files aren't available. I actually have written here in my notes, docs not available electronically. So I tried to get like the court docs, like the transcripts and stuff like that, and it said not available like electronically. So this is all I have access to. So based on what I have access to, this is in the LA County courts. So you already know what's going on in there. But the last thing we have is a minute order. And it says that the case was supposed to be coming to a hearing on September 10th, 2021. Now remember, on our timeline where we are in this universe, Bam had already been in an Arizona guardianship under Lima as his guardian for 3 months in September 2021. So all this is going on at the same time. So what happened in September 2021 in this restraining order case that Dahlia filed against Dima is as follows. Nature of proceedings. Request domestic violence prevention without minor child, filed by petitioner, that's Dahlia, on August 17th, 2021. The following parties are present for the proceeding. No appearances. The matter is not called for hearing out of the presence of the court reporter. There being no appearances, meaning no one showed up for court, the petitioner's request for the restraining order is discharged. All temporary restraining orders, if any, are dissolved. So I don't know if there was one or there wasn't one. I guess I could look into it. It's not that important. She requested for it. A month later, they were supposed to have a hearing about it in court, and nobody showed up. So the question in my mind is, where's Dia? Where's Dahlia? About 1 week later, August 23rd, 2021, Dima, the one who just got accused of all that abuse and all that, files a petition for a writ of habeas corpus. Now again, it's sealed record, so I can't read the petition. I can't read what was said, what was written and all of that, I don't know. All I know is what's in the court website, and they've given me, all of us, you can go look it up, limited access. So a writ of habeas corpus, from my understanding, I'll see if I can get someone who really understands it and insert the explanation here. But from my understanding of habeas corpus is someone is missing or someone's being held against their will. Habeas corpus is Latin for to produce the body. So it's literally like bring the body into the courtroom and let me see it with my eyes, right? That's the point of a habeas corpus petition. Produce the body to the court so everyone can see they're fine, right? The attorney on the case is a public defender. This is from the court website. I can read up the docket, and it says after she filed that, an order for transportation was filed by her as well. I don't know what that means. Maybe she was trying to get transported somewhere, like to a court or to a somewhere. And then it says on the 26th, petition for writ of habeas corpus filed by petitioner, Dima, is dismissed. So the petition was dismissed?
I'm pretty sure BJ was just covering her own ass there and not going too far into this habeas corpus stuff. Because she's being sued by Lima, was being sued by Lima. There's a news update on that. However, my understanding of habeas corpus is about the legitimacy of a prisoner's custody. You can see here, Google result, habeas corpus is a recourse in law through which a person can report an unlawful detention or imprisonment to a court and request that the court order the custodian of the person, usually a prison official, to bring the prisoner to court to determine whether detention is lawful. So essentially this means Dia was or is maybe still in jail, and she believes unlawfully.
I don't know how it works. I'm just saying this happened like a week after the temporary restraining order was filed by Dahlia against Dima. Now we have Dima filing writ of habeas corpus to maybe be transported somewhere. Look, listen, I don't know. It's certainly something that I would love to request. And maybe, just maybe, I'll be able to get access to those documents and we'll really be able to know. But in the meantime, that happened August 23rd through August 26th, right? All that with the habeas corpus. The next month, September, we have they don't show up for court for the restraining order, right? So that's dismissed. And then on the 26th, Lima posts on her Instagram picture of one of the twins, I'm assuming it's Dahlia, and she says, "My sister has been found. She is still alive." It's the weirdest, y'all. I mean, imagine you're just little old me. You know, I've stumbled into this through Bam Margera being in a conservatorship, and now I'm looking at this twin sister being found alive last year? What? And I'm like, I don't mean to make light of the serious parts, but y'all, like, imagine, just imagine. After I posted this, she was found within the hour. So this seems to be like an edited Instagram post. This is what it says as of August 11, 2022. Thank you for the outpour of support. All the people sharing this post, actively looking for her. I'm beyond touched. I can't believe how fast you managed to make this. So she enlisted the help of the public to hunt down the sister, I guess. When I filed the missing person report, which we have requested but yet to receive, the police said there was nothing they could do other than call me. They ran after her. Okay, so there's all this crap. But then they got some hashtags down at the bottom here that, like, again, I can't think of another word other than unsettling. I do not know why you would include some of these hashtags. So let's just gather our thoughts. My sister was found, she's still alive. What happened to the sister? What happened leading up to that post is my question. I don't have no idea. There's no gotcha, I have no idea. I don't know. Missing from what? I start wondering, is she trying to run away? Like, we have a temporary restraining order, writ of habeas corpus, putting aside everything else going on with Bam and Amanda. Now we have the same month as they don't show up for court. A habeas corpus has to do with producing the body. Where's the body? Where are Dahlia and Diadema? Where are they? She's found. She's been found. And listen to these hashtags. Y'all can look at them, but look. Missing person, abduction, abducted, kidnapped, kidnapping. What? Crime? Somewhere stupid. YouTuber, girl, woman, girls, women, Hollywood, missing girls, help. Hashtag help me. Lima, do you need help?
Considering the lengths that Lima went to hunt down Bam whenever he escaped, I'm going to hazard a guess that she's used all of these alarming hashtags to get the public all alarmed and hunting her sister. And considering she set Bam up more than once for crimes that he did not commit, just to shuffle him to another facility, I'm not going to be surprised to find out that Lima's doing something similar with her sisters.
But the question that came up in my mind was, is this kidnapping and human trafficking and abduction like you've hashtagged here? Or is it false imprisonment? And if it is, who's keeping Diadema, Dahlia, whoever, captive? I want to be very clear. I don't know. Dema, Dahlia, I have been unable to locate anything that I can point to with certainty that they even exist after 2018. There is a picture of them on the ARA website, but there's a temporary restraining order that no one bothered to appear to court to, so they're not there. There's a habeas corpus petition, which was dismissed, so I don't know, did the judge see the body or not? Maybe if they unsealed the court records, I would know the answer, but all I can do is speculate. Then, the next month, hashtag abducted, missing girl. What on earth is going on here? They couldn't post for themselves in 2020, in July. Then they are advertised on ARA's Instagram account as using ARA during a very obvious marketing period for the company. Then, after they're using this ARA, one of them files for a restraining order against the other one. Then after that, a habeas corpus petition is filed. Then after that, Lima says that her sister has been found, but hashtag human trafficking, hashtag help me. And then after that, again, the same one goes missing again? 3 months later? Where are these people? Who are these people? What is going on? I have no idea, but I'm gonna find out.
True to her word, BJ does find out more information, but that's for the next episode. So, y'all come back now, you hear?